Hallo, herzlich willkommen hier auf der Boot 2023 am 6. Tag. Und wir sind hier auf dem Aquador-Stand, direkt, also der integriert in den Nimbus-Stand ist. Und ich habe das Vergnügen, heute hier den Jonathan Cole mit mir an Bord zu haben. Der, erstmal herzlich willkommen, Jonathan.
Good to meet you.
And we're gonna do it in English again because Jonathan is not. You speak very well German, but not fluent. No.
Yeah, not fluent. No, not good
Okay,
enough.
so that's why we're going to do it in English. So, Jonathan is fairly new at Aquador. You started with them like 1.5 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, and you're not really from a boating background.
No.
You asked me to say that because I know you know a lot,
Yes.
but you're a little bit nervous that there could be questions which you don't know, and this is fully okay because I'm doing this more than 20 years and I don't know things. So this is fully okay. Everybody should know what is needed, and you're gonna learn loads in the next 10, 15 years, whatever.
Yes.
You're going to be with Aquador, and you're choosing a great brand for starting the boating industry, I think. So I explained yesterday in the video that my family was working with Aquador. My father, me being in school in the 90s.
Yeah.
So we were as a company connected to this brand before, as I said, in the start of the brand with the founder Sakari Mattila.
Yes.
And so for us, this brand is well known, and now with the integration or the combination from all the Bella Group brands, Aquador is also for us in possible to say. We choose an extremely it was a very dedicated decision that we didn't take all of the Bella Group brands and Nimbus Group brands, which came from the Bella Group. So Bella, Flipper, Falcon and Aquador, so we just choose an Aquador. So ich habe erklärt nochmal, es gibt ja verschiedene Marken, die über die Bella-Gruppe zu Nimbus dazugekommen sind, aber für uns ist vor allem, wir haben uns für eine entschieden, in dem Fall nämlich Aquador. Und habt ihr irgendein Problem oder? Grad,
Da ist so ein Fehlton hier drin.
Ja.
Ich weiß aber nicht, ob der live ist, wo der herkommt. Also wie so eine Interferenz mit irgendwas anderem.
Okay. Wir haben gerade, sind wir am Checken.
Check if the mic is plugged in correctly.
Sure.
Immer noch?
Yeah.
Can you just pull it out?
Dass es irgendeine Interferenz gibt, die ich zuordnen kann.
So, mal an- und ausmachen gerade. Entschuldigung, und gerade einmal den Ton.
Können wir an- und ausmachen?
Wieder an. Can you just pull it out?
Seht mal bitte.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Das ist gut.
Okay, perfekt, super.
Yeah, we're back.
So, yeah, we're back. Okay. Entschuldigung für die Unterbrechung. Den haben Sie mehr gehört wahrscheinlich im ersten Moment wie wir. Wir hatten einen Fehlton im Mikro, deswegen haben wir es kurz unterbrochen. Wir waren in der Historie. So, for you to come into the boating industry, can you tell us a little bit about so what is your role and what is your what have you been doing before?
So my role in Bella Boats in Nimbus Group is brand manager and export manager for Aquador and Flipper, Flipper brands. Like Patrick mentioned, I started almost 2 years ago. Before that, the industry, I did a similar role in a different industry, helping the Finnish companies expand internationally. And of course, when I came on board with Aquador and Flipper, the international network was already set up, so I come in more to support our current partners internationally, help expand in areas where we have the possibility to do so. And maybe that's what Aquador is good for, because as you mentioned, when you started in the 90s with Aquador, a lot of time has gone by, and now we have the next new generation that seems more fitted for the international market. So
I
in that
fully
way,
agree.
it's quite a good time to come on board for me. as well.
And these boats are built in Finland. I think this
Yes.
is a very important message, because many boats nowadays are built in other countries more east. But
Yes.
this boat is built in Poland. So there's two, in Finland.
Finland, yes.
And there's two facilities
Yes.
where the boats are being built.
That's right.
So
yes.
where is this exactly?
So the one facility is Kuopio. It's where I'm based. It's in towards the east in central Finland. And the larger boats, the larger Aquadors, they're built in our plant in a village called Luoto or Larsmo. It's on the west coast of Finland.
Okay.
Yes.
And how many boats are what volume do we talk about? Or is there like this volume what you have now? Is it maximum volume, or could you even expand there? or-
Yes, we can expand. We can expand. At the moment, we up until of course this time, we have been at maximum capacity in all 4 plants. We have 3 plants in Kuopio and 1 in Larsmo. And the numbers of all of the boats, of course, of all of our brands, numbers into the hundreds. But when we come into the bigger boats like Aquador, where we're going to be aiming for at full potential higher numbers, or we're going to try and match the numbers of the 28 HT and 25 HT, which we built for quite a long time. So they came
They're
out
very experienced building.
exactly, and they're the numbers we're going to try to reach as well with the new brand. With the new
What is this?
model. So we're going to be aiming for, let me get my numbers straight. So
Very roughly.
it's going to be approximately between 50 and 60 units. And then when we expand, we can expect more numbers.
And the brand is very strong in Scandinavia itself, or?
Yes, it's true. In Scandinavia, it's very, very popular. Sweden has been traditionally our largest market. But we're also quite well known in countries like the UK and Ireland. Of course, we had a bit of history of building boats in Ireland for a
I
little while.
remember that. That
You
was
remember?
in the 90s when we were also
Yes,
connected
yes.
to
So
it.
we're still, they remember us there, and there are a lot of old Aquadors there. But yeah, Scandinavia has been our main market.
Also for us in Germany, like like there's none of the brands I'm presenting. The sub dealers is stronger than the mother, or not the mother, but we as the importer.
Yeah.
But an Aquador it is. You know that it's very a very well sales place is Heil Schiffstechnik in the Lake of Constance. So also in the Lake of Constance themselves, because they're really like aqua boats, because of the areas on the lake they can't reach with the shaft boats. And in fact also they like this Scandinavian design, but a little more sportive on the Lake of Constance. So they are a strong partner for this product for us. But I can see also, especially on this 300 HT, that there's a big potential also all over in Germany, because it has many. Sorry for, because I'm coming from this side there,
Sure.
from the Nimbus side, and I can really understand like why people buy a Nimbus 305 and Nimbus 365 for cruising for a long time being on board.
Yes.
But I can see also if somebody wants something more sportive, but still wants to be living on board and wants to have loads of storage and being comfortable on board, that this is a very good choice. Because I was in the video yesterday very surprised how much proper usable storage. The kitchen is bigger than on the 365 when it comes to storage, and also inside we have loads of cupboard, and also going down and being immediately in the owner's cabin. I really like, because this extra wall you would normally have there, it's just making everything inside it very small. So this is very similar to the T11.
That's right.
But you also have been doing quite some videos, and
Yes.
I because you were very nervous for that video here. But I think what you have done so far was pretty cool. You did some videos in the summer, I think, also on the 300 HT already. No, the Flipper.
We did one walkthrough on this one,
Yes.
and we did a few on the Flipper. But it's a bit different when it's not live. You know, you can be as confident.
Yeah,
you know,
but-
going
but-
live is a
but-
bit
yeah,
different.
but you did very well, I have to
Thank
say.
you, thank you.
What is, when you did this walk through, can you pinpoint, your 5 highlights on this boat?
Sure.
Would that be like where you think this is where Aquador is or this model is unique? What do you think is?
Yeah.
Or I would do. Let's do. Everybody does 3. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do.
Great.
You start.
Okay, I'll start. First of all, it's the lounge, the swim platform lounge, when you have the stern drive option. Actually, I'll take 2 points in one. First of all, the Aquador 300, it's available in either stern drive or outboard. But when you choose the stern drive, you have the option of the lounge here, which stacks away very nicely into the compartment behind.
I
It's
think
a
you
very
can also
spacious-
store maybe some fenders even
some
in there.
fenders in
Yeah.
there as well. And it's just a great place to sit, close to the water. You don't need to have the table here.
I think the table is maybe a little high.
It's a bit high for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because no, just leave it. So the feeling is, I think, nicer when we see it here. How,
Exactly.
How close you are to the water, and how much space you still have
You
in
know.
front of the seating area here.
Exactly.
To watch the kids playing in
Watch
the water.
the kids swimming.
Yeah,
Your parents can sit here and enjoy a drink, something to eat in the evening, and be so close to the water. So they're two things that I found quite interesting and a little unique.
What will be like engines I discussed yesterday, but
Yes.
the two output will be two Verados 250s.
Yes, V8, and then we're going to have the 225 V6 as well. But we believe that the 250 V8s with the autopilot and other options is going to be a good option as well.
So I take another one. I really like this enclosed seating arrangement here.
Yes.
Because that's you can easily sit here, I would say, with 8 people. You have a big table, but a very study table, and on the other side, Nico, can you just film that here a little bit? Was habt ihr film? Okay. So what I really like is this enclosed, as I said. So you're protected here, so your hips up, you like really, and then if you
Right.
put this table down to make a sunbed, you can even be lying here naked. You'll be not seen by other people.
Yes,
yeah? And
exactly.
nobody really wants. If you want to be exposed, really lying in the sun, you can go to the front. But this is a very cozy place here in the back.
Exactly right.
So next
Yeah.
one from your side.
So the hardtop design, and it's going to touch on a little bit what you mentioned, but we pull out the canopy here at the back. It meets here in the middle. When you close the skylights as well in the cockpit, you have blinds and curtains for every window. So let's say you want to have a bit of privacy in the marina. You can close everything up and you have complete privacy, just like that's electronically closed. That's one of the things about where the HT, the hardtop model, gets its name. It's from this very multifunctional hardtop, this roof element. So that's another thing that makes it stand out, multifunctional.
I really like the helm with the side window. So I prefer, in fact, even if it's not so functional as having a way go out direct, I really like a bench at the helm. So I don't need to sit all the time like driving like in a car.
Right.
So I can even maybe my girlfriend's coming here sitting together, but if not, so I can just sit myself a little bit in a launchy feeling and having still a perfect view to the front, even with a side window here on the side. And also the helm is from its level so positioned that I really have a good view to the front.
Definitely. This is quite a social area. The other thing that actually stands out, and it's linked to what you said, no matter where you sit here in the cockpit, whether it's on the back bench here where our cameraman is, or here in the driver's seat, you have a good 360-degree view of the horizon. So we're not too high up here, and you're not too deep in the cockpit. So even when you're here, you can still socialize, you're on the same level, and you have contact to the outdoor elements all the time.
So I have two. Let me take the third one down here. I really like the big bed because this is bigger, I would say, than in most of the Nimbus boats.
Yeah.
In bigger size. So I really like that, and then the possibility for a big TV there. So it's not needed on the boat, but anyway, we all know that we like to watch some telly, and there's enough headroom in here, and I really like that there's no wall here, so I have to squeeze into a small room where then it's closed by a small door, like a door and a very little room in front. So I really like this is one room, and then just the guest room and the toilet is separated.
Definitely. And in here we have the bench where I'm sitting.
Yes.
And it's been designed to actually go through and underneath the main bed. So yeah, it's a nice bench to get yourself prepared for the evening. But if you need some extra sleeping area for a toddler, it's a toddler sleeping area as well.
But they will always come up, no?
They will, I'm sure they will. But we want to give parents the option.
Yeah, you can place them
You can
there.
place them. They'll join you soon.
They fall asleep there, but I would say 2 o'clock at night they're going to be up here.
They're going to join you. It's not a big jump, so that's pretty good.
I know you don't have any data regarding engines yet, but
Yes.
with the Mercury 270, what was there, the top speed and the cruising speed? Approximate.
So
We don't nail
sure.
you down now.
No, but the Mercury top speed was came out at 32 knots. Cruising would be between 18 and 24. So you're talking pretty good numbers for a small engine on a boat this size. But
So in the Yanmar now you're expecting probably mid 30s to end 30s and cruising of end 20s to 30.
absolutely,
Okay.
that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Very good.
And with the outboards, similar to the Yanmar.
Similar to the Yanmar, the idea what we wanted with this boat is even with the outboards, it's not a boat that's going to, or we don't want it to be going much over 40 knots.
No,
you know,
that's-
it's not necessary. For that,
I
you
fully
have
agree.
a flipper.
Yeah,
You know,
fully
and,
agree.
So it's that's the range and speed that we're aiming for in this boat, and so far it's what we're achieving with the engine options we've tested so
Do we
far.
have any options when it comes to? I didn't ask you that before.
Yes, sure.
From color choice.
Yes, at the moment this is the standard color for this season. Later this season though, we're going to be offering a light beige color as well. So it will open up the area, you know.
Just sit down so
Sure.
you get a feeling of the size here. I think
Absolutely.
because this is you really need to shout to each other.
Yes.
What do you want to do? Move
Welcome
that.
around.
No,
Okay.
but we're going to move anyway to the other. Do we have any questions yet?
Wir nehmen die mal rein gerade.
Ja.
Nee, aber erst zu 250.
Genau, dann sind wir zu 250.
Okay. Okay.
Erst zu 250.
Okay. Good.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so beige is a light color is going to be available very soon.
Okay. Beige, but the same material.
Same material.
Okay.
Yes.
And the sunbed for sure as well, because that was not on that boat yet.
That's right. Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, the kitchen I pointed out yesterday. Let's walk over to the 250 HT.
Very good.
Wichtig ist, wenn Sie das live sehen, wir haben gestern ja ein Video online gesetzt oder hochgeladen. Da war ein sehr aufmerksamer Zuschauer, der direkt gemerkt hat, dass wir die Bugkabine vergessen hatten. Die ist irgendwie am Handy zurückgeblieben, sage ich jetzt mal. Und die haben heute Morgen noch runtergeladen und haben das Video jetzt nochmal hochgeladen. Es gibt zwei Videos. Das Video, was zuerst gestern hochgeladen wurde, ist das ohne Bugkabine. Und das, was heute nochmal hochgeladen wurde, ist das mit Bugkabine. Es wurde nur sehr oft schon geschaut, das von gestern. Deswegen wollten wir es jetzt auch nicht sofort löschen. So I just explained because we had an upload issue yesterday. It was the first video. We missed the front cabin, not in production, but in the cutting of the video.
Oh yeah, no worries.
So 250 HT.
Yes.
This is always going to be with outboard.
It's always going to be with outboard. Yeah, that's the one difference between the 300 and the 250 is that this comes with a outboard engine option only. Yes.
And this is a so this is hull number 3, first zero production.
Yes. So
And this is prototype, like
One.
number 1.
Yes.
So it was still not ready when it arrived here.
exactly. It was literally just dried. It just dried when we unwrapped it.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Was gibt's für eine Frage?
Warum bei der Bedienung des Motors keine aufgesetzte Steuerung verwendet werden würde, die doch besser aussehen würde. Ne?
Ja, verstanden, ja.
Die zweite Frage, ob es noch eine Sonnenschutzrollung gibt auf die 250.
Auf dem wahrscheinlich an dem. So there you explained it already. There will be sun protection at the helm for the openable roofs.
That's right.
Is it going to be here as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because it's not ready here yet.
That's right. Yeah. So there's going to be blinds and curtains.
Okay,
So
and
there's
here will
extra
be
protection.
blinds as well.
Blinds also.
Okay,
Yes.
and the other question was, I think this is to be answered with space.
Yes.
Why this was utilized and not the one to put on top from the
Right.
design and so on.
Yeah.
I think this is like a space reason.
Yes.
Because then we would have needed to have the platform here and then also the steering wheel would need. Also es müsste das Lenkrad müsste nach Backbord verschoben werden, als auch hier wegen der Ablage, wegen der Schaltung. Also wir würden wahrscheinlich ungefähr 20 cm nach links wechseln müssen und dann ist es keine Doppelsitzposition mehr. Also ich denke, es ist einfach eine Entscheidung über den Platz. Wobei das ja auch genauso eine elektronische Schaltung ist. Also es ist nicht vergleichbar mit der klassischen Schaltzugschaltung, die ein ähnliches Design hat. Also es ist eine rein elektronische Schaltung mit dem Podi. Aber es ist eine Platzproblematik. The general design is very similar, just everything a little bit shrinked.
A little more compact,
Yeah, a little
exactly.
more compact. We're still
Exactly.
having a L, no, here an L shaped. On the other boat we had a U shaped sofa. We We have the kitchen still with fairly big storage.
Yes.
Again, we have a double-seater driver and co-driver, and then a single seat on the port side. So this is all quite similar. The roof is manual here. Is it optional electric?
No, just manual on this one. And,
Which is completely
electric.
fine. It will always
yeah.
work fast and good. So because it's good reachable.
Exactly. Another thing is here in the cockpit,
Yeah.
which is a bit of a difference to the older models. It's once you step into the cockpit in the dining area, everything's on one level.
That's
So
very nice.
no tripping hazard until you come up, and you can get into the driving position very safely, and no tripping hazards.
What would you point out on this boat? Top three.
Top three I would point out would be the volume in the hull for a boat that measures 7.8 meters. So
Overall length, including outboard? Or?
no, that's not including the outboard. It's,
yeah, but the outboard stands not much
a
over.
few
But
centimeters.
we are probably still in the 8 meter.
We're under 8 meters. Yeah, exactly. And maybe you saw it yesterday in your video, but the volume down here for a mid berth.
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
Yeah, and that's probably one of the most impressive things. I wouldn't want to repeat myself too much because we have the same hardtop design and the same qualities in that regard. But here you have, like you mentioned, everything in so much volume that's been put into this aquadynamic hull. We call it the aquadynamic hull, which reaches plane. You don't need a 300 horsepower engine. It reaches plane at lower speeds, and you don't need to cruise at such high speeds. And that's why a 250 is perfect, even though the boat feels quite voluminous.
Quite big,
yeah.
And what is here the maximum? Is it 300 or?
No, 250 would be
250
the
is it?
maximum.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Otherwise, we'll be hitting over 40 knots quite
Yeah, which
easily.
you don't want.
Which we don't want, exactly.
What I find quite cool is the Handschuhfach. I don't know in the what is it in English?
the wireless charging.
No,
or-
this is in there. But I
Okay.
in general like to utilize storage at the helm because sometimes you have these bags and so on, but it's easier to put something in there. So storage at the helm, I really like.
Yes. Yeah.
Another one for you?
Another one for me again would be storage options on a boat this size, because you can see all of the options we have already here in the
And
cockpit
floor.
You step downstairs and you have space for shoes under the step.
Cool.
It's like little things.
Yeah, but
where
this
you
is
have-
very important
it's-
for living on board.
Exactly, livable space is the designers have done a really good job in that respect.
I really like, even if it looks quite high, but I think it makes the boat very safe. And from the outside, it doesn't disturb at all. It's the high railing,
Yes.
because this is a matter of being safe on board.
Exactly.
And if it's from design, not disturbing the boat design, I find it very important. Because people going to buy this boat are maybe sometimes a little bit older and they really want to have a safe walk to the front.
And just one more thing.
Okay. Aber so stark wie eben, also kann man noch zu. Do you have a mobile phone on you?
Yeah.
Can you just
Yeah.
give that a maybe? Just put it here, yeah? You remember?
Sure. My watch is. Will that
No, no, I have that as well.
Okay.
Well, was my turn, your turn?
Yeah, so now I would say another thing, just as you mentioned
Yeah.
about the railings, then we have the 360 lighting. So you're
Oh yeah, that's very cool. We
Yeah.
didn't have that on the. We have that on the 300 HT as well. I mentioned the video, so we have two lights to the front, like one front, one back, and two to the sides. I can just dock light port. It's even on, so you can see that if I put it on and off there on the side. Is this standard?
no,
It's an
front
option?
and back is standard,
Yeah.
and with the 360 option is the optional.
Okay.
But yeah, again, in dark waters or in areas that you're not so familiar,
Yeah.
docking in a new marina and it's
So
getting
you
dark,
can really,
you
really
see
light
all
up.
around.
Yeah, all around.
and it's actually designed quite well so that purposefully, of course, that it doesn't reflect back into the cockpit. So yeah, it's an uninterrupted view of
Very
your
good, very
surroundings.
good. I really like, again, let's go downstairs, the space, also the big bed again.
Yeah.
I think this is again on the level nearly of the 300. Also the the height of the roof, or of the roof. So this is like arm long. This is really voluminous, as you said. And also the lighting with the warm. This one is warm LED. This is white LED. So this is to light up, and the other one feels very warm. And then a big storage there on the side.
Yes. And yeah, the mid berth here as well is pretty comfortable. And that's what's impressive again about this size boat. You have so many sleeping berths, but comfortable. You don't feel too cramped at all, even though it's 7.8 meters. You have to remind yourself it's under 8 meters.
When are you going to launch the boat first time?
So this is going to be production up and running by spring, and we imagine that our deliveries are going to take place before the summer.
But when you going to think you're going to drive this boat first time?
When I'm going to drive it, probably I'm going to drive it as soon as the lakes melt.
Okay.
So probably end of March, mid-April, depending on how warm it gets.
How hard global warming is.
Exactly. We're quite far away north there, so the lakes are still frozen for now. But as soon as they're open, I'll be driving.
How does it work when you would say it's so cold and so on? So you don't have light now, it's very
Yeah.
and it's pretty cold. So for you that must be like nearly summer then here.
Yeah. It felt pretty cold still when we got here. You know, it's cold weather at the moment, but. Yeah, it gets dark 3 p.m. So we have a fair bit of daylight in midwinter. But the lakes are frozen. When we want to do tests, we have to do a bit of traveling. So we ship them out. But critical for us is spring, summer, autumn for all testing and driving in our local backyard, let's say. Yeah.
What is the expectations here on this boat? You said that before. It's like 40 knots. Or
Yes, it would be probably around 40 knots on this one as well.
So cruising 30.
Yeah, between probably 25, 30.
Do you have the tank volume in your head?
Not in my head, but I'd have to go.
Yeah,
and read it.
we should look at that
Yes,
in the
for
back
sure,
ones.
for sure. We can check.
Because that's I think what I also missed yesterday in the video, to just get people again a short feeling.
See,
And maybe prices as well, we should point out
Yes.
a little bit. So we're having here around 180,000 euros as the boat is exposed here. And we have where's the water tank? Fuel, freshwater 72 and fuel 245. So 245, that's quite good already. So we probably have a range then later on from 150 nautical miles, I guess, in this area. And the 300 HT is...
Yeah, there's a few. I don't know if we have all of the information here actually printed.
Yeah, it's like
445.
260.000, wurde exhibited 310 und wir haben Tankvolumen 445, Frischwasser 142.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Ja, super.
Welche Möglichkeiten von Außenbordern wird es bei der 300 geben?
Mercury, entweder 2x V6 225 oder die empfohlene Motorisierung 2x V8 250 Mercury. Also im Endeffekt der Motor, wie er da drauf ist, mal 2 und dann auch die Möglichkeit natürlich Joystick, Autopilot, Skyhook, die Optionen, die dann mit 2x250 möglich sind.
Kann man mit einer Größe von 1,90 Meter unter dem Hardtop aufrecht stehen. Ich glaube, das war auf die 250 bezogen, zumindest vom Teil.
1,90? Also ich bin 1,78. Knapp. Schreiben wir nachher rein, messen wir gleich aus. Also hier vorne auf jeden Fall. Hier denke ich auch. Das einzige könnte sein, der Part hier nicht. Aber das messen wir. Oh, you don't know the heights here.
No.
Wir messen das aus und posten das nachher da rein als Kommentar. Also wir haben 3 Höhen. Einmal die Höhe, wie gesagt, hier im hinteren Bereich, wobei im Glasbereich es noch höher ist. Und wieder im Glasbereich hier. Und der niedrigste Punkt ist dieses Panel hier.
Der Ton ist die absolute Katastrophe. Ihr habt Funkstörungen, das wissen wir, aber wir wissen nicht, wo sie herkommen.
Immer noch da, oder was?
Ja, jetzt ist weg.
Okay.
Ab welchem Preis ist das Boot zu haben? Das
Haben wir auch schon,
geklärt.
ja genau.
Alles gut. Ja.
Good. Jonathan, thank you very much.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, thank you for being live here with us and giving us some inside information to the Aquador models. Wir bei Botopolch werden bestimmt sehr bald ein Video zu der 300 HT machen, die jetzt zu uns nach Dramen-Trabach kommt. Dann werden wir auch mehr nochmal natürlich hinter die Kulissen schauen, mehr von dem Boot kennenlernen. Wenn ich so ein Boot fahre, und ich mal 1-2 Stunden auf dem Schiff verbringe, kann ich auch viel mehr noch dazu sagen. Das ist für uns einfach auch erstens eine neue Marke. 2020 auf der Boot hier gestartet mit den 2 Modellen 25 HT und 28 HT und jetzt eben komplett neue Boote, die wir auch hier erstmalig, also ich erstmalig am Samstag letzte Woche hier auf der Boot gesehen haben, die 300 HT und natürlich die 250 HT genauso. Yeah, thanks again for having you here, and there's probably some more questions coming up which you hopefully support me with answering here. Okay.
Great. Thanks a lot,
Vielen Dank
Patrick.
hier
Thanks.
von der Boot 2023 am 6. Tag von der Aquador 300 und der Aquador 250. Vielen Dank.